But what my number one goal is to take you from that being that cashier at Chipotle. If you're not sitting there working, you're not making money, which is us selling. Now we're incredibly high paid cashiers here making money, to the person that owns 20 Chipotles, the person that is making money as a business owner. And we can do that here in our industry, in our company, with the power of override income. Let's talk about where to recruit people. And this is going, there's a lot of philosophies around recruiting. And I love them all, right? Because in the end, your mentality in recruiting, hiring, recruiting, bringing people into your agency, bringing people FFL, is I can put them in a better position. If you could say that out loud with me, I can put them in a better position. Say it with me. I can put them in a better position. Thank you, Carol. And that's the thought process you have to have when doing this. I can put them in a better position. We have more opportunity, incredibly high compensation rates, the bonuses. We just, so we're all on the same page here. With almost every carrier we sell insurance with, we're the number one IMO with every carrier we sell insurance with. You know, that kind of you need some help with contracting with a cousin who maybe it was a little wild in college and you need to get him contracted. Hey, I really need a favor right now. Could you help me out? They might go, you know what, on their word, I'll bring them on in. You might have a client that had some health stuff going on. They've totally, turned their life around. They're working out 6 days a week. They eat kale, and they're focused. They stop drinking and smoking, and you can maybe get them a standard or a standard plus rate because you talk to the underwriter and you're from FFL. So you put up hundreds of millions of dollars of production a year, and you now get a little bit of favor because we appreciate how much business they bring. I trust this producer. So I need you guys to understand that when you are the best, and I'm not saying we get favor industry wide, but you get kind of a nod that goes, all right, we're going to take another look at this to see if we can make it happen. And that's a powerful place to be. So understanding I can put them in a better position. So for clarity though, when recruiting, and this is the challenge, the best people are already working somewhere else. The best people are already working somewhere else. And I need you to think about this from a personal example standpoint, is if you're not currently being recruited, then maybe at this point in your life, you haven't created enough value that someone would want to recruit you away, right? Like that's some deep stuff to think about. Well, if no one's trying to prospect me and pull me somewhere else, I just must not be making enough noise or doing enough right now where someone would want to then bring me into their ecosystem. So that's okay. But other people are, and we can always get better. We can always level up. We can always move to the next level. We can always improve, right? Canine, CANEI is a mantra I've lived by for as long as I can remember the acronym. Constant and never-ending improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement, Canine. And it's a philosophy of, I got buddies that I love to death, but they golf 3 times a week. And there's a time in Grady Polcyn's life where I'm going to be a bad Mamba Jamba golfer. It is not today. It is not this year. It's probably not next year. But at some point, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to cut it up. I think that's what the kids call it, right? And so you're going to find people like this that are going to want to excel. So if the best people are already working somewhere else, how do we attract them? Great Jim Rohn line. We attract people by the person we become. We attract success by the person we become. And so I'm going to give you some places that I want you to start thinking about. And then I'm going to give you some things to say to attract great people. Okay. So some great places to start. With IULs existing right now, there's a lot of chatter around IULs. People making posts about them, people making videos about them, people making shorts about them, TikToks, Reels, all the things. So there are also people commenting on those. There's also people looking at the comments on those and not commenting. And that's a place where you can live in a world of trying to find and create and elevate yourself as someone that can attract other people. So there's a lot of YouTube videos out there on IULs. Would it make sense to go on there and message some people asking questions about YouTube video about IULs, or giving their own insight on what they say about IULs? Hey, John, saw you made that comment about, what you say in an IUL presentation. Would love to pick your brain sometime. John may be at a company at a 40% comp. He might be the number one producer with a 40% comp, writing 40, 50 families a month at a 40% comp, and doesn't know he can get what he can get here. Starting conversations. Maybe John's super happy right now, but you make a friend. And fast forward 6 months, company changes their policies, they change their bonus structure, they change his advance. He wants to add another carrier. All of a sudden, you built a friend, right? This is like hunting, guys. I digress for a second, but one time, all of a sudden, my kids and I started watching this show on, I think it's Discovery, Naked and Afraid. And it is absolutely fascinating. They drop these people off in, hold on. They drop these people off in the middle. Come on. There you go. In the middle of nowhere, okay? And they say, figure it out, okay? Figure it out. Now they hide like a bow on the top of a mountain, and they give them they'll hide a fishing line underneath a lake, and they can go, it's like a scavenger hunt. For 45 days, they're naked, and I don't think they're that afraid because they're all crazy a little bit, but they're hunting, and these dudes are they're shooting nyalas and impalas and they're killing things in nature. But they go and they get in a blind and they hunt and they get by the water at like 5 a.m. because they know that if they get there early, and they're burning elephant poop because the elephant poop gets rid of the human smell, and it gets fascinating stuff. So they're hunting to live. Okay, in this world, the arrows you shoot and the hooks you put out there and the posts you make and the videos you create and the messages you send are all, we'll advance our army technology here, are micro little landmines that you're setting out there, little booby traps that people go, you know what? That was an interesting message. You know what? Who we got here? Nat. What's up, Nat? I owe you a call back. What's up, Nat Carlo? Elise, right? Elise out there. We've got Jessica, Grant, Jason over here. We got Stephanie, Brian, Dez, right? We're putting a message out and we're trying to create a web of interest. Okay, so we've got YouTube videos we can make posts or comments on. LinkedIn, we've got Facebook, people just talking about it. Go to your Facebook is a huge search bar. Type in Index Universal Life, type in IUL. There's groups, there's posts, there's pages, there's all kinds of things that are out there that you can comment on. Facebook pages have groups and people commenting on. Instagram accounts of other companies and other pages, people commenting are great people to comment on their comment and message, because then everybody gets notified. Also, I've recruited a lot of people from people being shouted out by other companies and other teams and other groups. Because when you see them putting up 30 or 40 families and you know that company starts at 60%, you go, they must not know we exist, because they wouldn't be selling 30, 40 families over at that company if they could come over here and get 50% more commission rate. They wouldn't do it. They just don't know we exist. So what great thing to do is reach out to them. You can buy lists, and here's a low-key angle, and this is the base shop builder's call. How about you hit up some lead vendors and say, hey, I don't want to sell them leads, but anybody that's bought IUL leads from you, I'd love to have a chance to message. Maybe you could buy the list from them, right? There's a lot of ways where you can get lists of IUL producers. And the mentality, though, is I can put it in a better position. Okay, so now there's a lot of these life insurance groups, and a lot of them are big old messy cesspools of people complaining. They're just, it's like God gathered up all the lepers and he put them over on an island. And then the insurance industry gathered up all the complainers and he put them in these Facebook groups. And it is a cesspool of whiners. And you just go read a couple posts and comments and you're like, it's man, I hope you can make it through the day, man. It looks tough out there, right? Look, I called one lead and they were mean to me. And what would you guys do? Because this person was so rude and I just don't know how to handle it. And you're like, hey man, sales ain't probably for you because that's a lot. I mean, I had an old agent one time. He's like, are you prepared to make 285 dials where people yell at you and to get the 15 that will say yes and book appointments with you? And like, that's the thought process. You make 300 dials, book 15 appointments, and you have to push through the crap or you're going to stay where you are. And if you're happy where you are, keep floating. But guess what? There's no floating. You're either sinking or you are getting out of the pool, right? Levitating in this example. So there's no constant. But so in this example, here's some stuff that you can do. And this is what and if I'm going to share these lines with you and you're going to go, I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that. I didn't know that's what they were doing. And this is the trick of working in these groups, is not getting caught in the crossfire of garbage, but understanding there's 30, 50, some of these groups have 100,000 people in them. This is free press. So sometimes people will post about struggles they have, right? A comment you can make is, I sold X last month. I can help. Shoot me a message. Simple. I sold X, whatever X is, last month. I can help. Shoot me a message. But this is the key, guys. Most of the time, it is not for the person that you're making the post of. It is for me, who is the viewer, who doesn't like a post. I don't comment on nothing. I don't engage in anything. But I see it and I go, oh, you sold what last month? And the person that maybe is selling 10 to 20 families, 20 to 30, that you posted, you sold 43 last month, and you can help, and shoot me a message. I can't tell you how many people might go hit you up on message or drop your phone number in there, whatever angle you want to do it. And all of a sudden now you've got people that aren't that poster complaining, but other people going, this person's polished. Well, holds himself together well. They seem to be, have a lot going on. I'd like to engage with them more. I'd like to learn more about what they're doing. Okay, next angle. Okay, someone's like, what is your script? What do you guys do to say this? I keep saying this and I keep getting hung up. Another comment or another post, a message you can post in these comments of these big, massive groups, or this also can apply to YouTube videos. This also can apply to LinkedIn posts. This is putting our landmines out there in the world. This is our hooks, our little booby traps of catching people, of planting seeds in front of a hungry crowd, right? If you're a hot dog salesman, I'm going to reference Hormozy twice today. What's the number one thing you want if you're selling hot dogs? A starving crowd. You want starving people. That's what you want. You want people that want your product. So a great line is, I say X, Y, and Z when explaining IULs. What do you say? Asking for engagement of conversation. I talk about tax-free retirement, living benefits, and the death benefit. What do you say? Asking for engagement. X, Y, and Z. That's a great, simple line where you could take that line and copy in a bunch of different groups and post on some things and say, like, you're just offering help. You're just offering help, right? I'm on the side of the road handing out water bottles to runners. I'm just helping, just here to help people, right? Oh, you sell water too? I might need to buy more water consistently. Oh, maybe we could partner up and sell water together. Guys, this is just about you being a public person who produces at a high level or has an opportunity that you can take people and plug them into. Now, here's just a general post you can make in some of these groups. I just closed my 7th IUL for the week, and this was a huge premium for whatever, XXX premium. If you need any help with your presentation or closing script, I'm always down to help. But these are simple, curiosity-inducing micro posts, micro comments that you'll see, like some of the biggest and some of the most successful insurance agency managers are constantly doing this. You've also seen, drop a 1 in the chat if you've drop a 1 in the chat if you've seen anybody else ever make a post like this. Exactly. So but now you know what they're doing, right? They're trying to get you to reach out to them. Now, why not why don't we turn the tables? Now you're the captain, right? You're the captain now. Great movie. That's what's fun about this, is that when you learn what is behind, when you could see behind the veil, you get to peek around and see that Oz is just a dude, right? When you learn what they're doing, now you can turn the tables and now you can start to put your own hooks out there.